The power went out at Sterling, so I left early. I walked into our bedroom and found my husband and my best friend tangled together, stark naked. He didn't even blush. You wouldn't let me touch you, so I found someone who will. My whole body shook. I bolted to the kitchen, grabbed a chef's knife, and snarled, "I'll send you straight to hell, one slash at a time." Dolores rushed in, jabbering away. I wheeled on her. "Keep yapping, old witch. One more step and we'll see whose tongue lands on the floor first." Before we go on, subscribe to the channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. The power went out at Sterling, so I left early. In our bedroom, Blake and Jade were tangled on the bed, not a stitch on. My mind blanked. My knees knocked. "Blake, you." He pulled on his boxers like he was folding laundry. "Since you've seen it, no point hiding. From now on you and Jade can be sister wives." Jade slipped into her lace, all bedroom eyes and smug purrs. He went on, "You kept shutting me out. 5 years. No baby, I'm not a monk. So I found a volunteer. I'd had a pelvic infection. The meds made sex off limits. Now that was his free pass. I also found the source of the infection. Jade's gorgeous and obedient," he added, giving her bare cheek a loud pinch. Jade giggled, shimmying, "All the things you won't do, I do, with pleasure. And trust me, he is an absolute stallion." Christina, menstray, get over it. Rage detonated behind my eyes. My nails drew blood in my palms. "Go to hell, both of you." A knock rattled the door. I yanked it open. Dolores waddled in, took one look, and switched to attack mode. "Christina, if your husband looks elsewhere, first check the mirror. If I were Blake, married 5 years with no egg in the nest, I'd outsource too." She looked proud of him, then shot me a glare sharp enough to slice glass. Dolores had never liked me. When Blake first brought me home, she was politely chilly. After the wedding, the mask slipped. She hounded me for grandbabies, as if conception were a solo project. At every family dinner, she found fresh ways to humiliate me. I snapped back to the present, fury spiking. I sprinted to the kitchen, snatched the knife, and marched to him. "Take your slut and get out, or I carve you a second smile." His face drained. "Be babe, let's talk." Put the knife down." Jade hugged the wall. "Mute." I bared my teeth. "Talk. You didn't conference call me while you were screwing her on my sheets. I'd bought that bed last month. The linen still smelled of fabric softener. Now it reeked of betrayal." Dolores stepped between us, palms out, voice syrupy. "Christina." Blake slipped. "Boys do. Put the weapon away." I tolerated her nagging for years. Today the ledger was due. "One more step, old witch, and we'll find out if your dentures stop steel." I drew a slow line across my throat. Dolores shrieked, "Murder. She's killing us," and bolted. When I spun back, Blake and Jade had vanished. I set the knife down, lungs heaving. The tears came hard. My steady, kind college sweetheart had reduced me to a headline. He and I met at university. He saved me lecture seats, typed my notes, and tutored me through calculus. After graduation, he put job hunting on hold to lock down our relationship. My parents, both professors, approved, pulled strings to land him a cushy gig downtown, and toasted our future. My phone buzzed, WhatsApp notifications pulling me back. Dolores had beaten me to the Maple Ridge community group chat. Neighbors. Christina tried to stab Blake and me with a butcher knife. "Come defend us." She drove us from our own home. Lord, what did I do to deserve such a monster-in-law? City girl. I thought she had class, turns out she's feral. He joined the chorus. Christina threatened to kill me. I work my butt off for this family and now I'm homeless. Not one syllable about the adultery. The neighborhood watch brigade jumped in, divorce her. Today it's a knife. Tomorrow a body bag. Stay married and you'll end up on a true crime podcast. He played the martyr. Everyone. I still love her. I won't abandon Christina. I snorted. What he loved was the 5 condos my parents had put in my name. 3 they bought. 2 came from a settlement after a school zoning issue, mine alone. His only property was a crumbling farmhouse 2 states away. My parents hadn't even asked for a dowry. A modest ring satisfied them. Mrs. Henderson from number 12 typed, "Tell her professor parents, shame them at their university. Force the old fossils to bow." I texted Blake a single photo, our kitchen knife on the marble counter, plus a line, "Keep slandering me and your mother becomes a closing argument." Both Dolores and he went mute in the chat. The thread died. Next morning I stepped outside and every neighbor's gaze skewered me. Whispers followed like static. Thanks to them I'm the local supervillainess. Snatches of gossip drift past. "Pretty face. But she'd kill you in your sleep." My son wanted to date her. Thank God he dodged that bullet. I looked over my shoulder. Their mouths clamped shut, eyes wide. "Move along." Nothing to see. Their silence screamed. 2 days later, he came home as if nothing had happened. I had to admire his shamelessness. I grabbed a broom and literally swept him out the door. He snarled, "Christina, kick me out and you'll regret it." I'm never coming back. I rolled my eyes and drove my stiletto heel straight into his crotch. He crumpled, groaning, and I slammed the door. A muffled whimper drifted in. That poisonous knot in my chest finally loosened. The following morning chaos erupted at Sterling. I poked my head out to see Dolores sweeping through the office alone. Christina. Is that little bitch Christina here? She barked. The instant she spotted me she erupted, kicked my Blake out. Who do you think you are? Diamond-studded. Losing your damn mind. Assaulting your husband. Back in the day you'd been run out of town for that. I'm here to talk to your boss right now, she announced. When the manager hurried over he tried. Ma'am, let's step into the conference room. This is disrupting everyone. But Dolores wanted me humiliated. Humph. I'll speak right here. Loud and clear. Gather round. Folks, look at this slut who beats her husband and even me. A harmless old woman. A monster like this and you keep her employed? Crowds gathered. Coworkers traded amused glances. If Dolores wanted crazy, I'd out-crazy her. I roared, and Dolores snapped her mouth shut. If you found your husband in your bed with another woman while you were at work, would any of you stay calm? Necks stretched for gossip. Dolores jumped in at once. Bull. He is gentle and obedient. He'd never. Stop smearing him. Accusations need proof. Voices flipped to her side. Right. Show evidence. Can't just sling mud. She looks sincere. This granny doesn't seem to be acting. At that point I stopped caring about face, yanked out my phone, and streamed the nanny cam clip from the bedroom. I'd installed it to track my insomnia. Colleagues swarmed. Phones up. On screen. Blake and Jade tangled on the mattress. Every word crystal clear. If Christina didn't own 5 condos I'd have ditched her ages ago. You suit me so much better. Jade giggled. You're awful, and I love it. Timing it perfectly. I let tears gush. My husband cheated. I just want a fair resolution. Sorry to hijack company time, but thinking of my elderly parents worrying makes me sick, I sobbed. Someone passed tissues. I waved them off. Wiped my nose on Dolores's sleeve. She recoiled like I was a ghost. Christina, stay strong. You'll get through this. Girl, you're our top performer. You've got this. Dolores kept screaming. I signaled security. They dragged her out as the cleaning lady spat on her. That bitch is going down. Dolores howled. My manager, seeing my hollow eyes, gave me a few days off to sort things at home. I nodded meekly. The next day a smear banner appeared in Maple Ridge, the complex where my parents live. Professor Lee, wife's daughter / Dolores and husband, unfit educators. Go to hell. Dead birds and snakes arrived next. Plus calls and texts wishing me dead. Zoe rang me. Christina, are you okay? You're blowing up online. I opened the link she sent. In the video Dolores and Blake wept to the camera in 4K close-up. My name's Blake, a country kid who married the university princess after graduating. Christina, the professor's daughter, has always been spoiled. This time she not only beat my mother and me, she slashed me with a chef's knife. Their faces looked legitimately bruised. Sobbing, Blake wiped tears. I'm just a country boy, helpless against powerful city folk. Netizens, please help me. I never knew he could act. He came off small, pitiable. Commenters exploded. Rural bro. I'm the same. Let's find this Christina. Got her parents' address right here. Professors like that. Tell me which college. Someone doxed me and my parents' campus info. Just mailed her parents a little surprise. Pics attached. Too late. The black and white photo of my parents was in my shaking hands. Target me. Fine, but my gray-haired parents. Game on. I drove to the precinct and pressed charges. When officers phoned them, Blake and Dolores rushed in on cue. Officer, that's her. She hacked us. Arrest her now. Blake cried. Dolores lunged. She's suing first. Lock her up. She wanted to kill us. An officer eyed them coolly. Wounds. Let's see. Cleverly. He had pre-branded himself. Bruises streaked his face and arms. I leaned in for a closer inspection. All this from little me? Dolores played pitiful. You hit and forgot? Peeking at me, she wailed. Ah. I'm dying of pain. She even struck an old lady. No conscience. No heaven, no justice. When no one reacted, she dropped to her knees. Wise judges, uphold justice for us. Boo-hoo. I drawled. A fragile woman like me turned a grown man and an elder into punching bags? Credible? Dolores didn't catch the sarcasm, but officers aren't idiots. I stepped closer and spat in her face. Dolores recoiled and wiped, revealing pristine skin. The bruises vanished like stage paint. An officer's eyes bulged. Makeup. She drew those was on. Sensing disaster, Dolores simpered. Officer, let me explain. Jade majored in fine art. Blake and Dolores's battle damage was surely her brushwork. From afar it looked real. Up close it collapsed. If I hadn't seen her paint similar bruise effects, even I might have bought it. His eyes darted around. Officer, it's a misunderstanding. Just fooling around. After that he wiped away the injuries on his body, as if calling it a mistake makes it one. I lifted my chin. Officer, I want to press charges for defamation. Before Dolores and Blake arrived, I'd already sent the online video to the police. The officer asked patiently, did Christina kill anyone? Dolores's face sagged. She shook her head. No. Did she hit anyone? Dolores shook her head again, but he looked unwilling. I wasn't afraid of anything he might say. First he'd need the nerve to say it. After a lecture, the officer made Blake obediently delete the clip. He played peacemaker and told us to forgive each other on the spot. I nodded with fake magnanimity. My parents had already been suspended over this. The matter was far from over, though the video was gone. Troublemakers kept slandering my mom and dad. I'd planned a rebuttal clip, but the uproar was growing, so I decided not to rush. A few days later Jade asked to meet. She picked a quiet cafe. She got there first. Christina, just divorce him and give Blake to me. So familiar. Calling him Blake. If not for my parents, I'd have gladly signed, but things had gone too viral. I chose to stall. I smiled coldly. If Blake wants a divorce he can ask me himself. From what I saw, even with a knife at his throat, he wouldn't sign. Must mean he still loves me. Jade scowled. Unwilling. Humph. I'm pregnant. He was over the moon. Who knew my belly would be so cooperative? Guess it's fate. She slapped a sonogram printout on the table. Coffee splashed from the impact. The cafe was nearly empty, but the noise turned every head. By now I no longer cared about embarrassment. I picked up the sheet unhurriedly. Congratulations. Too bad your child will be born without a father, a bastard who'll hang his head forever. Always branded. Jade's face flamed red. I curved my lips. Already scheming, even so. You still insist on keeping it? She ground her teeth. Threw down. He will divorce you sooner or later. And stalked off. The onlookers had pieced together our triangle. When Jade left they drifted away too. A quick divorce would only hand Jade and Blake their happy ending. I'd make them sick of each other first. I remembered Zoe's uncle ran a club, so I asked her for help. That night we walked into the velvet room. It was all marble and gold. The hot spot in town. We'd barely sat when the manager paraded a lineup before me. Ripped pretty boys in unison. Hey, sis. I pointed to the best looking one. Him. Ryan happily slid in and toasted me. Up close. His angled face and sharp brows were pure billboard material. The manager brought out female models next. My gaze landed on a delicate doll-like girl. I raised a finger. Stella took the seat beside me. I asked them, want to earn serious money? In perfect chorus, yes. I outlined their missions, then pulled a thick wad of cash from my bag. Zoe heard the plan and exclaimed, brilliant. A few days later I learned Jade had a day off. I hired a crew and a red smear banner and rolled into her Maple Ridge complex. My people were pros, gongs, drums, racket you could hear blocks away. Aunties and gossip-hungry neighbors poured out. The banner screamed, the Jade's daughter adores my husband, legal wife here to welcome the concubine, complete with Jade's glamour shot. Even strangers could match the face. I had them parade for hours, drums pounding, and when the time was right plant themselves beneath her building and chant, Jade, come down, the Carters are here. Jade, you enter the Carter house by the side gate. Serve the wife. Know your place every day. Homewrecker rumors glued themselves to her parents. Big news. Jade's the mistress. No wonder she dolls up like a vixen. I saw her with some guy sneaking around. Turns out he's someone else's husband. Girls these days won't find their own men. Gotta steal another woman's. Wild. I always knew that Jade was bad news. From my lookout I watched, smiling. Goal achieved. I tipped the crew on the spot. By evening the stunt trended citywide. Jade's family was infamous. For days Jade and her parents didn't dare step outside. When they did, masks and hats hid them, but too many neighbors recognized them at a glance. Zoe must have seen the hashtag. She called, Christina, you savage, only you pull a stunt this crazy. I arched a brow. Don't start none. Won't be none. I just returned the favor. She asked, when's curtain time for the main show? I said nothing. Next day Ryan accidentally met Jade. I knew her taste. Ryan was it. One look and she floated. He asked for her WhatsApp, a move that sent her soaring. After that he sprinkled attention, teasing her until she itched. Between Blake and a fresh face, Jade would pick the latter. Soon she lost patience with him. Leaving Blake hanging wasn't enough. I set my hook. He bit fast. The moment he saw Stella, he stared at her chest. I sneered inside. Men think with their flies. Days of hot and cold texts followed until I told Ryan and Stella to book the same restaurant for both cheats. When the four eyes locked, Blake swung first, punching Ryan. Jade spotted the redhead on his arm and yanked Stella's hair. I'd warned my actors to stay passive, so they swallowed the insults. When the moment felt right, I called the cops from across the room and blended into the crowd at the station. Ryan began his act. I was just having dinner with a friend, got attacked for no reason. Stella chimed in. Same here, officer. Some psycho woman assaulted me, lock her up. She pointed straight at Jade. The officer, seeing how messy things were, told them to speak one at a time. Ryan's side was simple. He wanted a medical exam, and as long as he got paid, the matter could be closed. He instantly relaxed when he heard that Jade was the problem. Stella didn't want her money. She insisted Jade had disfigured her. There were a few unmistakable handprints on Jade's face. Finally realizing how serious this was, Jade swallowed her pride. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean it. Stella wasn't about to let her off. That's your idea of an apology? Jade glanced at him, bit her lip, and said softly, Stella, I'm sorry, it was my fault. Stella inspected her fresh manicure, impatience dripping. Louder, tears trembled in Jade's eyes, her voice rising a notch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Please forgive me. I stood to the side, blooming with joy. After locking eyes with me, Stella told the officer, I want to press charges for assault. I don't want compensation. I want her punished by the law. Jade went white. He grabbed Stella's arm the moment he heard Jade might be locked up. Sweetheart, can we just let this go? He whispered, pleading. Stella didn't even bother acting. Who are you? We've known each other what, 5 minutes? Don't flatter yourself. His face turned the color of ash. I couldn't hold it in. An audible snort of laughter escaped me. Jade shot me a venomous glare. She didn't get to enjoy it long. The officers hauled her away to sing her jailhouse blues. As they dragged her off, she kept screaming, Blake, Blake, save me. But he was in no position to save anyone. When the drama ended, Stella flicked me a look, clicked away on her stilettos, and vanished. Then Ryan stepped up, medical report and pay statement in hand. Ryan's monthly income, $100,000. His jaw dropped. Come on, Ryan was the top male model at the Velvet Room. The hospital recommended 2 weeks of rest, 50 grand, not counting the exam fees just now. He looked ready to die. Only then did he notice me standing nearby. He clutched the hem of my jacket. Wife. Help me. I gave him a contemptuous once-over. Sure. He brightened like I was his guardian angel. I knew you were the best. From now on I'll be true only to you. I looked disgusted. Please, spare me. I pulled out the asset waiver form I'd prepared and handed it over. He crumpled to the floor. You want a divorce? And you want me to give up our joint property? Why else would I have staged this whole opera if not to protect my money? He wasn't stupid, risk jail over a few grand when he stood to lose tens of millions. Yes, our house alone was now worth 10 million. I caught Ryan's eye. He picked up the cue instantly. Pay up, or off to prison you go. Because the amount Ryan claimed was so large, Blake really could be sentenced. He clenched his teeth and refused to yield, so the officers had no choice but to detain him for now. The moment I stepped out of the station, I felt lighter than air. But soon Dolores called. Gone was her usual arrogance. Christina, can you save Blake? You two are husband and wife. The past is the past. We're family. Families don't hold grudges overnight, right? I snorted. Funny. You're aware we're married. When you slandered me and my parents, did our marriage ever cross your mind? My folks have lain awake night after night because of you. Almost lost their jobs. You turned a happy home upside down. And now you dare talk family? Dolores's specialty was thick skin. Take it out on me. Christina, just get Blake out. I'll do anything you ask. Remember those words. Don't you dare backtrack. I hung up. Moments later the station phoned. He wanted to see me. The officer said the sum involved was large. He could actually be convicted. He begged, wife, help me. I can't last a day in here. Everything before was my fault. I was an animal. After I get out I'll cut Jade off completely. Had it been only about Jade, maybe I could have stomached it. But some things can't be undone. Sign. And I'll help. He thought for a long time, then finally agreed. But I didn't spring him right away. I went to Dolores first. Dolores greeted me with over-the-top warmth. Christina, you're here. I didn't waste a facial expression on her. His case will go to trial unless money makes it disappear. The word trial snapped Dolores's last thread of composure. Christina, you have to save him, please. I'll kneel if that's what it takes. With that, tears streaming, she dropped to her knees in front of me. I looked away. Crocodile tears. I cut to the chase. I can help him on one condition. He walked free 2 days later. Dolores picked him up. I wasn't about to go. Our marriage now dangled by the thread of one unsigned divorce decree. I was napping at home when he showed up, unshaven and hollow-eyed. "Christina, I signed what you asked. Can I come back?" He still thought signing a waiver was just a ticket to resume married life, rendering the asset surrender meaningless. I said nothing. His voice shook. "Sterling fired me. I've got nowhere else to turn." Of course Sterling canned him. His conduct had been vile. The moment Dolores accepted my terms, I had her record a video. In it she retracted every rumor she'd spread about me, wiping off the fake bruises on camera for the whole internet to see. "I'm sorry. Everything I said was lies about my daughter-in-law. I apologized to Professor and Mrs. Lee and to Christina." Only then did the online mob realize they'd been played. Damn, it was all staged. Drawing bruises on herself, next level. That old witch lives across from me. She's been vicious since youth. Christina just drew the short straw marrying into that family. Crap. I joined the cyberbullying. Can I still apologize? Above poster. I picked the wrong side too. Demand Christina right now to say sorry. When Blake stepped closer, I produced the divorce papers I drafted. His hands trembled as he took them, tears falling like cheap coins. "You betrayed me, sign," I said. He buried his head in his hands, replaying the past weeks, then finally broke down sobbing as he packed his things halfway through. Not long after Dolores posted her video, netizens resumed their cyber barrage against his whole family. Dolores started getting threatening texts every day, and someone even sent her a funeral wreath and an urn. She kept nagging Blake, "Just apologize to Christina. Soften up a little. Once you do, she'll melt." After all, her family still owns 5 condos. Each time, he answered with silence. He had nothing left. No job, no wife, no mistress. He locked himself inside day and night, refusing to see anyone. People online say he's lost his mind. All that gossip came from someone claiming to be Dolores's neighbor. After the dust finally settled, my parents headed back to campus. They're still the respected elderly professors everyone tips their hat to. That afternoon I met Zoe for shopping. "Retail therapy," she said. "Guaranteed mood lift." I treated myself to bubble tea. One sip and the world did feel lighter. Up ahead a crowd was roaring. Zoe tugged me closer. A heavy-set woman was pounding on a half-dressed lady who was clutching her blouse. Still, she was basically exposed. Her face was swollen purple. Jade. The woman had Jade by the hair, lifting whole patches of scalp. Zoe recognized her too and shot me a sideways grin. The wife yelled to the onlookers, "This tramp slept with my husband, right in my own bed. Tell me, what should I do?" Everyone stared at Jade in disgust. Half the circle already had phones out, clicking away. "Get her face," the wife crowed. "Post it everywhere. I'm doing the world a favor. Exterminating a homewrecker." Jade sobbed between hiccups. The woman went on. "The ****H claims she's pregnant with my husband's brat. Let's see if that's true." She kicked Jade in the stomach. Jade folded, wheezing. No one helped. More kicks followed, and soon Jade lay chalk-white while blood streamed down her thighs. Finally a good Samaritan called 911. When the excitement died down, Zoe and I turned and left. A couple of days later the wife versus mistress clip exploded online. Sharp-eyed commenters ID'd her. "That's Jade, the sister-wife wannabe from the other video. Turns out, she's a serial mistress." I saw that clip too. 2 videos together. Pure popcorn. Update. Jade miscarried. She really was knocked up, but the legit wife punched her ticket. Someone should send her flowers. Chrysanthemums. Careful, bro. Your joke almost crashed. Jade lost the baby and her uterus. Rumor says the wife is loaded, paid her off, and walked. Jade will never be a mother, and every time she homewrecked it hit the headlines. Odds are no one will ever wife her up again. Reading the comments at my desk, I laughed until my chair squeaked. My manager told me to check out the new cleaning lady, so I pocketed my phone. Our previous maid had quit when her daughter-in-law gave birth, so HR lined up replacements. When I looked up, I saw Dolores. She rushed over as if I were a life raft. "Christina, I got hired here. You'll put in a good word, right?" I turned my face away. 2 candidates had made the cut. The other woman was plainer but looked honest. The supervisor, playing favorites, asked, "Should we just lock in Dolores? We only need one." I shook my head. "Let's see who survives the probation." At Sterling every hire has a 90-day trial. Clear it and you're permanent. Mid-shift I felt drowsy and went to brew coffee. Dolores darted in and snatched my mug. "Christina, you want coffee? Mom'll make it. Such trifles aren't for you." I pivoted away without a word. The workload piled up, so I stayed late. As I was leaving, Dolores popped out of nowhere. "Off work, Christina?" I nodded coldly. "Would you visit Blake? He talks about you non-stop. You know you're still the one in his heart. He barely eats or sleeps. Just one look, please. I finally snapped. I'm divorcing your son. Stop scheming. I started to walk off, then paused. I added, the boss-like staff with clean hands. Flustered, Dolores shoved the toilet paper and instant coffee she'd lifted deeper into her tote. I know her. She can't resist anything free. Next morning the supervisor told me supplies were vanishing. I signaled she should ask Dolores is message received. Once Dolores realized she'd been fired, she stormed my office. Christina, you little rat. You ratted on me. He's jobless and now you want us dead? I snorted. I told you. Clean hands. Too bored to argue, I phoned security. They hustled her out. Word is Dolores spends her days cursing me from her couch. With neither of them earning a cent, they scavenge leftovers and dumpster dive. Blake, clown that he is, sneaked into a neighbor's attic and, when the coast was clear, raided their fridge. He got caught. The neighbor already hated them, beat him silly and called the cops. The story was so ridiculous it made local news. Zoe texted from the front lines. Christina, your hubby's a riot. I corrected her ex-hubby. Days after Dolores's firing, Blake and I signed the divorce papers, but Blake unraveled fast. Hence the fridge burglary episode. They say he's completely cracked. Last week he snatched candy from a kid and got pummeled again. I replied, karma, overdue. Zoe asked, now that you're single, want me to fix you up? I gazed out the window, rubbing my nose. Sure, but one won't cut it. Line me up 10. She laughed, coming right up. Pool boys, CrossFit studs, tweed professors. Take your pick. Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked it, hit like and share with friends. We'd love to hear your take in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more juicy tales. See you next episode.